But we try so hard to look so good. I know after I had Caitlin, my fourth baby, and I'd done the big 60-pound weight gain thing, ate everything in Denver, and I'm going through Walmart with my kids. I've got the little infant carrier in the cart. I got kids hanging off all the edges, and I'm plowing through the Walmart store, and all of a sudden my eye just catches this display for the Body Shaper. Have you all seen the Body Shaper displays at Walmart? $5.96, ladies. And so I'm looking, and I'm so vulnerable. I'm just huffing it, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I need that Body Shaper. And there's a picture of this woman who has never needed a Body Shaper in her life wearing the Body Shaper, okay? She's just like posed, and I'm like, oh, I so need that. It's only $5.96. So I buy one of them. And so let me tell you, if y'all decide to buy these are so tight, okay? They will take a size off you, but you can't breathe. So here is how you do it. Because I decided to wear it to church one Sunday, and so what you do, you go to the bathroom before you put it on, because you cannot get that on and off in a public restroom, okay? You lock the doors to your bedroom because it's a dance your husband does not need to see. You get it on. And so I put this little puppy on, and I was feeling pretty good. And we went to church. And after church, my husband decides we're going to go to the Country Town Buffet for lunch. Well, I had been with this on for quite a little time at that point. And I need to use the ladies' room bad. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can do this. We get to the restaurant, and, like we talked about last night, no one walks alone. I was just thinking, how am I going to get in the bathroom without my little Amy wanting to come too? Because she's just the Me Too girl. So I just kind of whispered at top, I'm going to run to the ladies' room. Because, I'm desperate. Amy's like, me too, Mama, I got to go too, So I'm like, oh, Jesus, okay. So I take her with me, and I'm trying to plan how I'm going to do this, okay? We're close, aren't we? I can tell you the story. So we go in the handicapped bathroom, right? Because there's more room to maneuver. You got the big stall, right? So I have her go first, and she's just yakking, little girls, da 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 da. And so then it's Mama's turn. So I'm trying to distract her any way I can. The graffiti on the walls. Look, Amy, there's an A, and just trying to get her to look the other direction. And she's like, oh, Mama, yeah. And she's looking at the alphabets on the, graffiti on the walls. And so then I'm trying to get this bad boy back on, without her noticing. So I'm doing the dance, and she turns around, and she's just going. She says, Mama, I think that's too little for you. Oh, my. Just keeps you humble, So those of us with less than perfect bodies know that feeling that we're always trying to feel good about who we are, and that's why for me, Isaiah 61:10, I can just read this with such a passion. It says, I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul will exalt in my God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation, and he has wrapped me with a robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decks himself with a garland, and as a bride adorns herself with jewels. Isn't that awesome? When he looks at me, he does not see my flaws. He sees the righteousness of Christ. I am wrapped in a robe of righteousness. And the value of that gift that he gives to us is that we are called to be like Christ. But how many of us are just exactly like Jesus? You know what? We are humans. We are frail. We are faulty. We are full of weaknesses. And at times, even our own insecurities can paralyze us from walking with him. Have you ever felt that way? 1 Corinthians 9:24 says this, do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may win. 1 Corinthians 9:24. The enemy of our souls wants to paralyze us with insecurity. He wants to shut us down. When I was in junior high and high school in PE, there was, that was just not, I am not an athletic woman. When I was a young girl, I wanted to be a black basketball player when I grew up. My parents had to tell me that wasn't going to happen. I think I saw the Harlem Globetrotters when I was like 6, and I just wanted to be a black basketball player when I grew up, And I just had this thing for athletes. I thought they were so cool and so awesome, but I mean, I'm just pathetic. I have no coordination. And so anyway, in PE, that was always a little bit agonizing for Sharon. And we would do track, right? There would be springtime track, and we'd be running the mile. And I can do it, I'm just not fast. And the thing is we're running this race, and the thing that would discourage me, if I was all by myself on that track, I would be thinking, you know what, I am running this mile. But what discourages us is when people are going, whew, 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 and they're whipping by you, you know. And the thing is that we have this feeling in our hearts when we see other runners running better, that we either want to sit down and quit. You ever felt that way? Or we start posturing and posing like we're better than we really are. Both are exhausting. And in our walk with Jesus, we need to rest in that robe of righteousness. I am full of weaknesses. You know, there was so much freedom in my life when I came and said to Jesus, I am a big, fat sinner, desperately in need of your grace. Thank you for that robe of righteousness, and he covers me. And I don't have to pretend to you that I'm anything other than that. And that just sets me free. That just frees us up. I don't have to pose and posture to try to be all godly, Miss Spiritual. You know what? I love him. He loves me. He is sanctifying me, but I fail every day and need his grace. But I am wrapped in the robe of righteousness. I'm so thankful for that. So thankful for that. And you know, here's the thing, is as we get the word in our lives, it builds this foundation of truth. So when the enemy begins to whisper lies in our ears, we can come back and fight. And the stronger you get and the more mature in the Lord that you get, then you begin to recognize his ugly little fingerprints quicker. You know, there's times in my younger years when I was already falling into the pit before I realized the enemy had laid the trap. You know, I mean, I'm just down there going, what happened? Side blinded, you know. And now as I'm older, I start recognizing, oh, that's the fingerprints of the enemy. And I start using the word. When he starts whispering to me, you are so pathetic, I say, no. Ephesians 1:4 says, I am chosen. I am chosen. And I fight back. When he begins to say, you know what, you're not very lovely, Sharon, then I give him Jeremiah 31:3 that says, I am loved with an everlasting love. Jeremiah 31:3.